YouTube channel. My name is Steve. You will find information here for the Atari home computer system and the Commodore 64. And I've been focusing mostly on the Commodore 64 for probably the last few months or so. But I've decided to actually go both routes as I've mentioned before here. So what I'm going to do in this example is show you some Atari stuff that I've been working on in the past. And I'm basically going to convert this over to the emulator. And I finally got some good news for everybody. I was able to figure out how to finally save programs in Altirra. It turned out to be more simpler than I thought it was. I was trying to do them the old-fashioned way by using the save command, but apparently you don't do it that way with Altirra. It's already built directly into the interface. Let me launch that and show you how that all works. And this program in the background is the one you see here behind me. I don't know if you can really see it. This is the one that you're going to be seeing later. I wanted to kind of zoom in on this to show you some of the graphics on this thing. It's using ANTIC mode 4, so it's taking advantage of 4-color graphic mode. So let me get over back to the emulator so I can show you how to load it and how everything works here. So hopefully you can see this. So what you do is you see where it says here Altirra. You already have it loaded on your computer and installed. Just you double click on it. And then when you first load it up here, I see it seems to be running a little bit slow here. Yeah, come on. Okay, there it goes. So what you do is you go to File here. Real simple. You go to Load State, and you basically look for the program that you want to load. These are actually listed under All State, not insurance, but just for some reason they got them under, that's how they save them in the state mode. You just click on it like that, and this is one I saved earlier, and instantly it'll display the listing on the screen. So obviously I can run it now. This is a program I saved earlier, so erase this one, and I'll load in the one I wanted to show you, which is the one in the background here. It's this one right here. And again, it lists it back on the screen. Even more interesting, earlier kept track of the earlier things that was saved. So it kind of remembers what's on the screen and it, does that. So anyways, let me run it and show it to you. Now you're seeing it on the emulator here. So like I said, you're looking at 4-color graphics modes here. This is a special mode of the Atari computer called ANTIC 4, which allows you to go in and control the bits directly inside of individual characters here. So let me see if I can stop it here. Oh, I don't know how to break, so I ain't going to be able to show you how to break out of this one. Haven't figured out how to break yet. I've been like playing with all the keys. I know how to stop listings, but I haven't figured out how to break out of it. So I always do the warm reset. So let's do that for now. So what you do is you want to stop the listing. You just hold the control key and you press 1 and it'll show you the listing and you kind of stop it and go through there. So I can kind of break it up and show it to you in sections here. So what we're looking at here is this first line here. This right here is going to read in an assembly language program. I believe this one is stored in page 1536 here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the character set. So yeah, it's right here. It moves the character set from the assembly language. So I wish I could really figure out that break key, because I got to list the lines line by line now just to show you every section I want to piece out to you. So next section here, and this is obviously the data. Well, I kind of skipped over here. Next section here is dimension P1 strings. This is just a string. It's going to dimension, I believe this is the character graphics, and this is the maze graphics for the maze here. For the maze, I use MZs a lot, but basically you can use any character you want, but it just keeps track of the characters that are being drawn. And this right here is moving. Let me just list the lines here again. I think I'm just going to do it this way. Clear this out here. Changing colors back here. So we were at what, like 40 or something like that, and then I'll be able to break it up and show it to you. Okay, so right here, the P1 strings. I don't know if it's in memory a lot. Let's see if it is. Oops. Actually, it is. That's the assembly language right there. So this one's reading in the assembly language. And you basically just execute it with q equals USR P1 strings. I believe that's it there. Oh, I did it wrong. Q equals USR address P1 strings. And oh, that actually reads in the character set. That's what that one does. Okay, I was curious to see what it would do. So let's go back here. I'll list a few more lines here. Okay, so this is what this does. It reads in the character set into page 6. And then right here, this is going to move memory back here to prepare for the character set that we've initialized. So you can basically change the characters on the Atari into what you want them to look like. And this right here is just placing it in, let's see, new character set. It says 2000 below the end of memory. So that's just basically what that's doing. This isn't my actual encode, but these are actually routines code I've actually got out of, I think it was this book right here, Atari Graphics. So this is actually an assembly language program here. And this one is actually creating what's called the display list interrupt. Let me run it to you and show it to you real quick here. Let's see if I can stop out of the program this time and so you can kind of demonstrate some things here. I'm going to get rid of, for 440, we're just going to turn that one off. So I'll say remark 440 there so we can kind of stop it and go to the text window and I can show you some things. Oh, actually, it didn't even work. Okay. What I was trying to show you is that line you see at the bottom here. I'll run it to show it to you and just show you with the mouse this time. This line right down here, this long line at the bottom here, notice that this orange thing right here, this is the actual text window for graphics mode. Actually, this is in graphics mode 0. You probably don't know it, but I'm basically writing over the screen here with the display list. And this right here is what's left of the screen, but this line going down here is a display list interrupt that goes all the way across the screen and it draws an orange bar there. I just did that to kind of make an effect there in the background to make it look like it was a ground or something. And these are some of the character graphics and stuff. So let's go back to the program here. Okay, so this is what this line is doing. Broken down in assembly language, this is just creating the display list interrupt to change that bar I just showed you. And these right here, let's see, stores the new character set address and the ROM address. I believe that's for the character set. Oh yeah, right here, it's poking in the A right here in the 204, which is being accessed right in here, I believe. And here's 203, so it increments the next one. I think it's either this or the one below it, maybe. Let's see. It's probably the one down here in the listing. I'm going to skip down here and show you what that line is doing from a assembly language standpoint. It's right here. So this is where it's actually, no, this is a DLI, I'm sorry. That's one I was showing you earlier. Well, let's go back to that line. Okay, so to explain this to you, what it's doing is it's loading the X register at 20 to have a position of starting at 20. So it'll count from 20 all the way down to 0. And it's going to increment whatever value stored in 205, which is being used by the program here. And this, well, what it's doing is it's creating, think of this like as a variable value, increment 205. 205 could be representing like X, Y, or whatever value you want to say. We'll just say it's X as an example. So it's going to be representing X here. And let me stop this and jump in there and show you something in a second. I almost had it all. Let's see. Trying to get all the lines on the screen. There's one more. There we go. Okay, so now I can show you by, kind of illustrating here. So like I said, think of this line here as a variable, like, x equals 1 or whatever, and it just basically starts x at what's going to be 0, because 205 is whatever value you're putting into it. And right here, we'll just say it starts at 0, so it's going to check the value there. And then this line right here, 53272, this is going to keep track of the color scan. Let me get my map of the Atari book here. Where did I put it? Yeah, stuck it up here. Okay, it's up here. Okay, so 53272. It's right here. Okay, so let's have a look here at 53272. Right there, you see where it says color and illuminance of playfield 2, also known as poke location 710. So that's basically controlling that color bar we saw at the bottom there. And that's how it was able to implement that color. That bar is being created by this raster routine. So it's basically just drawing a line here based on horizontal scan lines. And then that's the location for 710, and that's how you change it. I could show you by changing it in the program how it actually works here. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. This line right here, 54286, to be more correct on this, this is the one that keeps track of what's called a non-maskable interrupt here. All right. Right there, non-maskable interrupt. Poke with 192 to enable the display list interrupts. And that's basically what I'm doing here in this program is I'm poking 192 until I'll show you that later. And it turns on, basically it just turns on the display list. And this is what you do is you store it inside of here so it knows that you're using it. And this decrement, the X register, is going to keep track of how many lines we want to change. We could change this later, but right now I have it to 20. So it's changing 20 lines down at the bottom there. And then this right here is resetting 205. So remember 205 was our X as an example. These are both X. Just think of them as, the easiest way to say it is like, well, it's just a single value. So it's going to be X from a basic standpoint. And then this would be storing it into this location. I have to probably make some room here to show this to you. Let's sort this line down a little bit. Just so I can illustrate what this line right down here is doing for the store. It's going to say poke 53272, X. So basically it's going to take that value here from 205 and put it in here like that. Once it has that value inside of here, you can obviously change it here. And that's what this line is doing down here, is it's incrementing. Well, it's up here, it's incrementing 205, so it changes this value here. And decrement just keeps track of how many lines we're going to change in that display list interrupt, or how wide you want to make it, how tall you want to make it, basically. And then this just resets it, so it doesn't go too far, so it's not more than 20 lines. Okay, so this 54282, let me show you that one here too. It's also required for a display list interrupt here at the bottom. It's called Wait for Horizontal Synchronization, and it basically allows the operating system to synchronize the vertical TV display by causing the 6502 to halt and restart 7 machine cycles before the beginning of the, it goes on the next page. The beginning of the next TV line. And it just basically tells you it's used to synchronize the vertical blank interrupts or display list interrupts with the screen display. And you use that whenever you're setting up a display list interrupt. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything because that's what controls the actual horizontal beam right there. So, like I said, we'll go in this program and I'll show you how to alter it, and we'll change it here a little bit just to show you what's going on. So location 205, 162, 20. Just making a note here to myself. So it's in this code right here we want to change. And 204 to 206. That's just, those aren't being used by this one. I thought I might have poked it in here somewhere, but Okay, so we'll just have to change it inside of the actual program then. Darn, I just forgot those lines again. Okay, so let's go to 60,70 here. I just noticed I forgot to turn on my timer for the computer here. So I'm not going to know how long this video is. I use my camera as a counter for the time because Camtasia doesn't have a built-in time. So was it 40,60? Yeah, it's right here. So you see these lines inside of here. Actually, I'm trying to see if this is the one. Let's see, 152. This must not be the one. We're looking for the one that says LX. So let's go down through the code here. That must be the character set changer. All right, where is it here? Missed it somewhere. Unless I went in and I changed it up here already. I see 10,212. I think I changed it right in here. Yeah, it's line 52. So let's go back and change 52 here. It's just not matching what's down here because here it says 20, but I changed it to 52. So was it 40? And I can show you here if you want to see it real time here. So you see this 141, 10, 212. That stands for store. And you say 10. Or I say 10 plus 212 times 256. Oh shucks, I just erased line 10. I have to reload that in again here real quick. While I'm here, if you want to see how to save them, let's say you got the program typed in and you got to go do something for the day. You just basically just type it here. Well, I'm hitting a load one here. If you go here to hit File, Save State, whatever you want to call it, we'll just say ANTIC for test. And now it's saved it under that one. If you go back here to load state, you'll see that it's there. So it's right there, 322 kilobytes there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reload this one since it conked out on me here. I was trying to show you the value there. So 54,282, that's what this one is controlling. And 152, so 26,208. You just take the next two after it, add them together, multiply them by 256, so 53,274. And was that the same one? 53,274? Let me see. Again, I wonder if this assembly is matching down here. This is 53,272, so this one is probably an earlier program I had done. But we can change this one to 53,274. Just for purpose's sake there. But this is still the code that controls it. So right here, let's see, 169.52. Now I'm curious, I want to dissect to see what this code is doing, because this doesn't appear to be the assembly code I have down there. Because this is load accumulator 203, stores it in 53.254, or 53.254, whatever it was, the compare 8. Let me make sure that there's no other assembly code, because this is all the character set data. So I don't know what I was doing when I put this program in here, but this is something different than but we can still change those lines regardless. I don't see it on that one either, so let's go back here. So line 75, wait, line 75 is load the Y. No, this is to move the character set. Okay, let's just change it manually. So this right here, I do recall this value will change the color of it. So whatever I turn this into will change the color. So if I change it to 152 and I run it, you'll see that bottom bar will change to a different color, whatever I changed it to. See, now it's like a blue. Earlier it was like a red. You look in the background here, it's red down here, but now it's like a blue. So that's how you change the color. But that's basically what that does. It just controls that line down on the screen. So I won't go in a whole lot on that because we could probably save that to another video or something, because I could sit there and talk about it all day because there's a lot of things. If you watch my earlier video on the Commodore 64, they're very similar. You'll understand how they're controlled, and you set up an increment, like an X register or Y register, and increment or decrement it, like I was showing you that example down there, and you can go ahead and change it. That's probably what I was doing before. So let's see, as we go down through here, this is going to move the character, or read in the character set data. So you see all these lines on here to say 1, 2, and so on. This is all being read into this area right here, into P1 strings. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the assembly language code. That's why I documented there. So this is reading in the line down here. This is to move the character set in assembly language, and this does the call. This line down here, excuse me, this is the one that reads in right here. It pokes into CB plus C times 8 plus I. This is going to read in all this character data. Let me go back to that line and show you something here. Let's skip down some lines here. I went too far down. Okay, let's do this again. So line 70, I'm looking for the CB value here because I'm reading in poke CB. I must have initialized it at the top here somewhere. It wouldn't be right in here, so let's go back to the top, and maybe it's down here. Oh, actually I did. I was showing it earlier. It's right here. CB equals A, so it's taken the character set top of memory after it says here it sets it to 2000 below, but it's actually 8, so I should correct that. And this is it right here. It's going to keep track of where the character set data is going to be stored. So it keeps track of all this character data. Maybe we'll go in and change some characters, and I'll show you how that works. But that's basically what that's doing. This sets the graphics mode, and this changes the colors, so you can change the colors back here. You're seeing in the background here as it's changing there. You can change the character graphics by changing those colors right there. So 202 is what that does. This is the split that changes the lines on the screen. If you get rid of these, you'll discover it's actually graphics mode 0, or actually, I'm sorry, it's graphics mode 1 right here. I got it for 1, and it's just changing those lines in the background there. So let's see here. Matter of fact, let me mess with that here for a second. So 233, 237. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you if you turn it off what it'll look like. It'll change what the screen looks like because it's not going to be changing those lines in the background here. So sort this over, throw a remark in here. Do the same thing to this one. Now let's run it. See, you might not paid attention earlier, but these lines are different than these lines because this is a different resolution than this one. It's a different mode. This is ANTIC mode 4, and this is ANTIC, well, this is graphics mode 1. So if I change out all these are all going to turn to yellow. So let's go back to that 237, and I'll show you what that means. Or was it 232? Okay, so we're going to change those lines. So 236, let's turn that one off. We'll do the same thing with this one. Now let's run it and watch. Observe. See? They're not in ANTIC mode 4 anymore because we haven't changed the display list interrupt here or the line activating down here. So I can show you how to do that, but I need to turn off the DLI here, which is the display list interrupt, or otherwise if you try to type in this window, it's going to crash it like you saw earlier. So let me turn off that first. Find the lines that activate that. I probably didn't even show you that here. It's down here. It's actually the next line's on here. This changes the character set graphics in the background. This is the line we want, so 245. So 245. So we're going to turn this one off and just remark it out like the rest of them. And 440, this time I should be able to remark this one out and be able to change the line this time. Hopefully it'll work this time. You'll notice the bar will be gone at the bottom of the screen because that's what activates the DLI. See, the bar's not there anymore. The one back here that I showed you earlier. This one going all the way across the screen, it's gone now. And actually something's wrong with the graphics here. Every time I turn off that line, it goes, oh, it's going into the next line. I need to stop it. That's what I need to do. Know what I've finally been doing wrong. So we'll just say 438 stop. It was actually running into the next part of the program is what it was doing. So it should work now. Now if it stops, I can play in the text window. Aha, we got it. Now see, we can type down in here. That's what I wanted. So what we're going to do is show you how to change the lines here. So we got that one at 286. So say poke DL plus 15, 130. Right there, you see I just changed the line there? I gotta turn my cursor back on. That's why you're not seeing it. Just poke 752, 1, or poke 752, 0 when your cursor's back on. So poke DL plus, that's the plus sign right there, 15, 130. Now, if we change this to like 132, watch that line, it'll change. See? Now we're in ANTIC. I think that's the ANTIC mode we had earlier. Or it might be this one. Nope. Oops, that moved the text window up. That's because that line I just changed is has less width on it versus this line. So if we change it back, it should come right back. There we go. Now another thing I wanted to show you is the I did show this in another video, but this is for the I don't remember which one I think it's 9. They're all turned off, so I can't really see them right now. So 152 is our character set graphics mode, and then what we want to do is we want to peek into that. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's one poke 756, 224, I believe. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the regular. That's what the characters regularly looked like before they were changed. And of course, after you change them, they're going to turn back on again. So all those are being changed that you just saw earlier here. Oops. That's a different part of memory there. So this is like this 5, for example, turned into this. This line turned into that little brick wall or whatever you saw there. And that's this up here changed into something. That's basically how you get the characters to change, is by poking into the CB location I showed you here, right here, and then this will change to character graphics. I can show you down here too. Find out which one it is. Is it the plus sign? Yeah, that's one right there. So I remember which ones I just changed. The star was one, I know that. So there's that one right there at the top you see up here in the corner. So that's basically what you're doing, is you're changing that character into something else. So let's go back to the listing. And that's what these lines are doing. They're changing all the characters, starting with 1 all the way up to 14 there. And this down here is set in the graphics mode. We did go over that. The DLI, you still have that turned off. This is drawing the screen graphics on the screen. This is the screen memory for SC. Let me show you that real quick here too. If you print SC, you'll see that that's actually screen memory there that's being accessed. And if we run the program again, let me show you. And then we'll print SC. Let me turn the cursor back on. So right there, that's the screen memory. If I type poke SC, 1, you'll see something appear in the upper corner because that's the upper corner of screen memory. If I change that to another value, it'll reflect whatever I'm changing it to inside the program. If I've changed that in memory, that's the 0. And that would be 1, and it would just go through the character set ANTIC data, basically. So when you saw that data earlier, where you saw that down here earlier, you saw the data 1, 0, whatever, and all that stuff down there. That first line there, let me go back to the program here. So this line right here, 1, this is changing the 1 I just showed you, the poke SC, 1, that would be the poke SC, 1, poke SC, 2, 3, and then that's just changing those individual characters. So I changed 1 up to 14 in the character set. And I said this pokes in all the data. I did show you how that works. Here's where it turns the cursor off with poke 752, 1, so you don't see it. Now this also is a character editor, so I have the joystick here where I can go through and I can change a character, but unfortunately there's no way to, I don't think there's a way to really hook up a joystick to this. I don't know how to do it yet, so I'm not going to be able to show you that, but it scrolls through the character data. I could turn this, basically I could access the keyboard and show that to you. So 400, 420, let's do that real quick. So instead of saying ST equals peak 632, we'll say 764. I need to do a test and see what the values are that I need to change here. So I've showed this before, but you basically go to the same line and you run it and you press your keys and you can see what's going to change. So I'm going to use the arrow keys, so it would be 134 and 135 basically. 134, 135. One 135. I keep forgetting where my lines are. So 134, this will change to 134. And this will change to 135. And then what we also want to do is poke 764, 255 so we can clear the keyboard buffer. Do the same thing with this one. That should work. And then we got 440 turned off, so we need to turn it back on so it stays inside the loop, or it stays inside the program. Okay, so, oh, I got my stop in there, 438. Let's take that out and run it again. Now you can see him change real time. Okay, so move the arrow keys. There it goes. See that data changing? And right there, it shows at the top character. That's just showing which character or graphic is displayed on the screen and which one I'm changing. I did that so I know which ones I'm going to be changing in the program, and I could kind of look at them so I could line them up side by side and see what they look like and stuff like that. Oop, I guess 128 is the max I went to. And you can see them all if I hold it down there. It kind of scrolls through everything. Of course, right now we don't have the display lines turned on, so let's turn those back on again here just to show you what it would look like if we'd left it on. Remember earlier we turned them off here with the remark statements down here in lines 233, let's say 233, 240. So we'll turn them back on. All right. Oops. Now you can see what they look like here on the screen, and this would be the ANTIC mode graphic that they would look like when they're changing here. See how it's got more than one color in it? I like that one. It looks like some kind of Greek wall or something. Anyways, that's how you can kind of see and what they look like. Here you can see two colors too. There's like a yellow and an orange, and here's like a red and an orange. Okay, so let's reset this. $438. Trying to remember my line again. Is that 440? $438. Wanted to demonstrate something else here before I show you some other things. Okay, so next I want to show you the coloring and how you can go in and change the color. So 708 would be the first color we could change. And right now it has a 218 in it. So we can change that into something else. This one's kind of like, I think this one's a blue. No, it's like a red. See, I just changed it red. That one actually doesn't look too bad. I like that one. There's like a green there. And then you would change the next line, but this is also going to change the color of this window, so. Or, excuse me, the text. The Windows 710, the text is changing. So see how it kind of brightened it up here? If I set this down to like 10, the text will get dimmer, and you'll see that this changed up here. I always leave it bright as can be. And then we got the window down here at 710. So I turned it up black there. And we'll see what these values are. It's like an orange. There's like a red there. And we got 7-Eleven. Let's see what's in 7-Eleven right now. Oops. Can't actually see them when I'm trying to type them. So 50 right now has 7-Eleven has a 50 in it. So we could change it to like a 100. And you just saw how this just changed the color there. It's like a green now. So that's how you change the colors. And of course you got the whole background here. That's all this purple you see around here in the background. So let's see what color's in there right now. Sheesh, I could just see the keys. 96. And that changes the background color. I got like a green there now. So let's go back to the program. I showed you that. I also have play on this graphics in here. I don't know if I got it working or not, but I'll see if I can throw it in here. So these lines down here, going right down to this one right here. I think this is the character set, draw screen. It's actually right down in here. So it's line 5000. That's where the character set comes in. Or not character set, but the player Mr. Graphics. There's one thing I need to correct on it though. I noticed earlier when I had typed this in that there was an error with the lines here. So this line right here is a duplicate of this one. So this is the high and the low byte. So I think this is going to be VSA plus add, and this might be VSA add plus 1. It's in this book right here. This is my owner's manual for the Atari. I actually owned the XE system before. And actually, if you look at it, that's actually the gaming one. The gaming consoles they had that had the missile command and all that built into it. A cheap rip-off of the 800 and the XL. So let me find where that graphics program is. It's right here. This is the one I'm going to change right here. So this is where I got it from. So 752. If I make a mistake on this, I'll have to reboot it because it'll probably wipe something out. It's either that one or the other one. And we want to go sub to 5000. Somewhere in here. We want to do it after we read in all the character data though, so go to 90. Let me go back and look at the program again. If anybody knows how to stop the break key in Altirra, let me know, because I haven't figured out how to break out of it yet. I just have to list it every time. So, darn it, I just skipped it again. Go a little slower this time. Right here. So read C and go to 200. So if it jumps down to 200, what it does, it goes out of the program here, and it goes right down here, and it reads the next line, and it goes to 1000 down here. As it picks up the graphics mode, it goes to 1000, so it skips down to 1000 right here. And that's where it changes the character set, and then it kind of keeps it inside the loop there. So probably have to stick it in somewhere in around here. Probably 1006 would be a good place for it. Hopefully it doesn't wipe out the program. Okay, let's see if my player bus graphic is anywhere to be found here. 53248. I think it's 53248, I'm sure. Yeah, this is identical to the Commodore 64. I don't see it on the screen anywhere. Make sure that they're activated. Well, that's the missile right there. That's what I was trying to do, is get this line. But that's a missile is another way in a player missile graphic that you can change on the Atari computer. Just gonna put that one away for now. But I guess it didn't display. It should have showed a player missile graphic here somewhere, but it's not showing up on this screen. And I could try it probably with this one behind me here, to see if it works on this one. Oh, of course we got to change the line. Oops, hitting the wrong keys. Guess I can break out of this one. So it's right here, 1006 is the one we're going to change. I know you guys aren't going to see this, I just wanted to test it over here. Alright, where's my joystick? Well, that's all I had this thing doing. Well, now it's controlling the joystick. That's not... Player missile graphics still didn't show up anywhere. Probably not accessing it in the right area of memory or something. But I guess we'll skip that. But that it does have player missile graphic if I could ever get it to load in. That's basically it for the program. That's all it is right there, just the last part of it. So we could go in and we could change character graphic, but we'll change this 100 line. First, let me show you which character that is. Let me run it again here. So that one right there, we're going to change that into something else with that line 100. So I don't have anything drawn out on paper, but I know if we change this first one, change a few of these first ones, you'll see it change into something else. I could probably demonstrate it here too. Let me see if I could turn it on over here. Oops. There it is. So the poke, I'm just using the screen to show you right there. You see right there at the top of the screen there, that character over there in the corner, that's the one we're going to change. So this 100, let me turn it back on so I can see it again. Change these first few lines. And we'll change this one. Something like that. Okay. See how it changed? It added a little block on it. Before it didn't have that little block there. It was kind of going halfway up, so once you have them mapped out, you can change them into what you want them to look like. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Just change a few more of them just for the program's sake. Run it to you and show it to you again. See, now it looks really strange. Let's go back and look at it over here. See, that's what it originally was. It was a little asterisk or exclamation mark. Oops. Just poking in some more screen memory there, and you're going to turn back on the character set. And you see what it looks like now. So if I hit that key, you'll see it. That's just a new character we created. Just from that line right here, 100. Oops. Sheesh, now I can't even see anything. There we go. So, what else could I show you on this? The good thing is now that I got Altirra saving programs, I can start, showing you more programs, save them, and kind of go back through them. I just hope next to figure out how to break out of the listing every time. I wanted to show you this too, actually. Oh, we got to run the program. Oh, it's because we haven't gone to that line, have we? Have we? Oh no, we stopped on it before we go sub to it. That's why. That's why we didn't see it. Okay, so I wanted to demonstrate how the strings work on the Atari computer too. I was going over all that's kind of jumping around here to show you examples. I like to I think people learn better by examples, but I wanted to show you this right here, this SCR strings. This is what this is doing, is it's loading in all this data here. And these lines right here. So 2030, let's look at 2030, 2060. Or maybe 2000, 2060. To get them all on the screen there. Okay, so this line right down here is SCR strings. Why is that one not loading? Pretty sure I go sub to that line down here. But I had stopped the program, that's why I need to stop it somewhere like at 1010. 1012 will probably do it. We'll sort of stop here, and in the other place, for 438 was it? We'll take that one out, so it stops in a different place, so that way it'll run, and you'll be able to see that line this time. Didn't work. It's still not in memory. What's going on here? Trying to get it to read in that line, which I don't know what the program's jumping to. So it jumps down here, goes through all this data here. Should be getting to this line down here. let's see, when it gets down here, oh no, I still got to go to 400, so I need to do something like 438 or something. SCR strings, we could just go to the line, go sub 2000 or something like that. That'll probably work too. Yeah, see, I just drew that. Now we got that data in memory like I wanted. So SCR strings, there we go. Then the next lines I wanted to show you, and put a few more on there. Oh, right here, you see where it says SCR strings 1, 16. So if you print that, you'll see what it does. It draws whatever's in that string here. So if we go to SCR strings 32, 32, that's drawn on the side. You saw earlier when I goes up to that line there. Let's do that again here. Oh, I guess I have to redimension it or something. It's saying it's already redimensioned. There we go. So, SCR strings 32, 32, or 34, 34, whatever. You can see what it's doing is it's picking up what's in here. Or was that 2010? So it's reading in this data. This will start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just count over. And 32 position would be reading something like, I think it was that one right there. Oh, I think, let's try 35. That might do it. Yeah, it's picking up that little thing right there. So if we say 34, 35, it'll draw both sides there. So see, it's drawn from there to there. So that's 34, 35. If you wanted to make it go farther, you just change this one down here. Now it draws the next one in line. And of course, if you draw the next one, it'll pick up the next one. That's basically how you can use this to position stuff on the screen. And then you obviously would use the position statement in that next line down here to position the data where you want it. So if I say, let's do that line, position 10, 5, print SCR strings 1, 16, and you'll see what it does. So you just drew that up there at the top screen right there, and I moved my cursor up there. So if I do the next line, 16, and 17, 17 plus 16. So you drew all the bottom one there. So let's go down to the next line, which is 2040. I'll just do that one regularly and show you what it does. So it draws the lines down the screen. So that's kind of draws a little box on the screen. I was doing that because I was going to make a character set editor out of it, but didn't get done with it. Hopefully this video is informative enough for you to be able to get your own stuff going and that you can learn from this in any way. That's my whole goal with these programs, is to really hopefully get you guys doing your own stuff. I always feel like I'm a loner on this, like nobody's ever come by to show me the stuff they've done it. One guy did on the Commodore 64, and he's designing some of his own stuff, the Red Devil. You've seen that on the channel there. But nobody else has really come forward to say, hey, I got this program I've been working on, I want you to see it. So if you guys do have programs and you want to show them to me, please submit video reviews to me or whatever. I'll put them up there so that people can see them, if you're okay with that. So. Guess I'm going to probably call it quits on this one. I don't really know anything else I could really show you with this program. That's basically it. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It seemed to be a little bit long-winded, but I wanted to at least show you that's how you go ahead and you can set up your own 4-color character modes using ANTIC mode 4. Like I said, you just have to change those display list lines going down the screen there. And that's how you can make prettier looking graphics on the screen. I think that these are a lot nicer than just seeing the ones up here that really don't have two colors in them. It's only one color basically. So thanks for watching, guys, and you guys stay tuned, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.